Bug I and I.
A bug eye and eye gang? Showing
English,
die, but
English.
you don't appreciate my Bahamianness?
I know what that is. That's Jamaican.
See, that's why everybody think we sound like Jamaicans because Jamaicans they
Hmm.
ain't ashamed to speak how they speak when they travel.
I agree. But Bahamians
They,
want change quick.
yeah, we changed the stone. The plane ain't land yet. We don't speak in American a thing,
Yes, we pick up baggage from someone else, and we American. Especially
and then
Bahamians. Boy, Bahamians like to be American now.
won't be mad when people mistake you for Jamaican. That's your fault. Carry your Bahamian accent so I can talk like how he is talk, soldier.
Do your thing, boo. Do your thing.
See what I said?
Oh, cause why?
No, it's kazoo.
Then it's cause why?
Kazoo. Huh?
Ah,
I don't know.
tell Keith try to say,
I
hey,
live on Facebook though. By the way, just so you know.
your light looks so good. Your
Would
skin
look
looks
good?
so smooth.
Who?
Your light look good. I gotta get a light. My light in my bag.
Well, your thing, your ring
Yeah,
light?
my ring light.
Yeah.
Anyway, I
No.
so cold and pale like glowing enough.
You should have the Bahamians over here complaining about the 60-degree weather, 65-degree
You know
weather.
what? They need to shed their teeth. I was in the blizzard today.
What
I
blizzard?
was
Oh,
just like,
just give them an idea. What's the temperature there right now?
the temperature right now, I think it's now 19.
Woo! Good weather. Hey, listen.
It was 15 earlier.
Wow. Listen,
Child, look here.
I feel 19 before.
I have to
That's
think. Let me see. Do I want to be cold in America or hot in Fox Hill? Let me think. It's starting to get a little rough. I'm starting to have second thoughts.
Hold on. You actually think about that? That's actually a
Yeah,
consideration?
seriously,
No, man, it can't
seriously.
be that cold.
It's Greg, and it's miserably now. The good part is I'm by my friend's house, and their heat is so much better than that pop down heat where I was.
Hmm.
I was like, Charlie said, "Come on over for dinner." I was like, "For dinner, I'm here, present." Find it cold and it miserable. And when I was walking into today, because I tell you, my car, I don't have the car no more, because
Oh,
that's another
Lord.
story. But anyway, so why
Mm.
when I walk in the snow today, all the snow blowing in my face, all the snow, oh God, I was like, I thought this was fun back in the day.
That sound like good weather, man.
Hell no,
Let me
it's too
stop.
cold and it's misery. I nearly break my ass walking down the stairs.
How you really do that?
Because my shoes, every time I say I can put on my snowshoes, I'd be like, oh, it ain't gonna snow that much. God bless. This one good 3-4 inches of snow. I'm like,
Woo!
these people ain't knowing.
Wow.
Man, look here. I wanted to cry.
And I tell you, people over the woman come to pick up her stuff this morning. She said, I'm
Mm,
freezing. I was like, what?
please.
That time I gone outside in short pants, slippers, short sleeve shirt. I was like, freezing. I mean, what? You know that freezing
She
temperature is
can't
about
feel.
34 degrees, right?
She can't feel. I think now, like, and I hate when there's coming with this feels like. I don't
Yeah.
care what it feels like.
I would
It's
know what it
cold.
is. Well, actually, the feels
But
like
that's
is
all
actually
right.
be colder.
Give thanks. That just goes to show we got to stop killing the planet because these temperatures are redonkulous.
Well, I never feel. Well, I did feel the coldest I feel was 19 degrees with a 2-degree wind chill.
Ain't you been
And
in
at
Canada?
no, I never been Canada. I've been Atlanta.
Atlanta was that cold?
That was the coldest. It was the record. We've been there. The record. Yeah, it was in Atlanta. The record cold. Yeah, it was in Atlanta. And listen, one night I tell you, 19 degrees with a 2-degree wind chill.
No, you
That
see, I
was
grew
that.
up
That's
like
that
that.
cold with his height.
Exactly, and it is beach in your face.
Yeah, that is height.
Yeah, and see, I was gonna go visit my girl in Atlanta, but when she told me what the temperature was, I was like, I must pay $150 to be cold too. No,
Hmm. Yeah, that ain't
child,
easy.
I can't take it. So the temperature is 66 in Bahamians Winchon.
You crying, all ball up, wearing all their clothes. Every
You
piece of
know
clothes
that
they got in their closet, they got on.
boots with the fur.
Every piece.
Well, you know, Bahamians, only little piece of wind need to come out, and they
That's
done
it.
fur right down,
They just can't wait.
extra.
I just have to enjoy this week and a half out of the whole year. We just have this cold weather. I just enjoy it because the rest of the year hot.
Well, I now see why I live in a tropical climate because I'm just not cut out for this.
Ah, Lord. I can't believe you actually considering Fox Hill over there.
Seriously, as I was
That's
standing, because
ridiculous.
I was at the food store, because I missed my stop on the metro. You know, I was on my phone gazing.
Mm.
Missed my stop at the metro.
You sure you
Ended
wasn't
up in
watching porn?
East
No, go ahead.
Bumblefuck. Please, who the fuck could watch porn anymore? Please.
That to heat you up, man. It's cold, so you need to
Naja.
watch a little bit, heat you.
I don't even
Look
want
at
to
Keitra
move.
come and cut the fan off. Well, mother
Why
sick.
is the fan on? It's cold. Why
Listen,
is
you
the fan
ain't hear
on?
me just say I embracing all of this cold weather because the rest of the years be hot. I love
Good.
it when it get a little cold. Let me enjoy
Mm-mm.
it.
And all I want to do is damn sleep. When it cold like this, hey Terry, how's my Lutra family?
Yeah, all the people telling us hi. Hey, what's going on, Nadia?
Hey Nadia. Man,
Yeah,
look
you
here,
all
all you do
catching
is
our little
hold my
pre-show.
hand.
You our little pre-show while I share the video, and we
I
ask you
know.
all to please share the video as well. Please go ahead and share the video, people. Hit that share button. Tag all your friends.
For
We're going
sure.
to be discussing one of your favorite topics today, which is religion. You know, you all like to talk about religion and church and
Oh
Jesus
yeah.
and all of that good stuff.
Behemoths
Uh,
of Christy.
I telling you all the time, especially every day when they're trying to give people advice and thing, everything is about the Bible and church and all
Oh
of this
yeah.
stuff.
And
Yeah,
then
but
life
then
jack up.
when it comes to the actions, that's a different story. But that's what
Long
we
pole
talking
in
about.
their eye. And they looking
Yeah,
for a splinter in yours.
I want y'all to keep your religion private, eh?
That ain't
Because
gonna happen.
all of the public discussion y'all been talking about all these issues, y'all bringing out the Bible, say this, and the church, and God, and Jesus, and this and that. Listen, I just asking y'all keep that out of my laws, please. So that's what today's topic is. Keep your religion out of my laws.
Never
That's
gonna
what we're going to
happen.
be discussing. So let me go ahead and get it started. The pre-show, that was a nice little pre-show. I was talking about the cold weather.
It's
Now
the
let me
pre-show. It's the pre-show.
let me
We're
go
Gail.
ahead and get it crack. I know where Gail is. Gail, I
It's the
see Gail for
pre-show.
entrepreneur either.
Man, look at you had one entrepreneur. Look here. When I came
Yeah.
back home at that cold, I had to de-thaw and my throat was hurting. I done gargle with a
You
bash
mean
of
you had the
cayenne.
thaw?
No, my throat is like, when you start getting that funny feeling in your nose and your throat.
Oh, I thought you mean you had the thaw out, like when you take the meat out the freezer.
No, I had to thaw.
All right, let me get it started. All right, welcome back. Under the rug, back to our regularly scheduled, well, not quite regularly scheduled time, but regularly scheduled day. We're running a little bit late today because we had to start Entrepreneur a little late. Jay was running some errands and he was running behind. So we started Entrepreneur a little bit late. So that's why this show is starting a little bit later today. But we are here, people. The lovely Christina Marlian, Russell Thompson is here.
Thompson Russell. Get it right.
Which one it is?
Well, I'm in America now, so I'm Russell.
Oh, use Russell in America.
Child, you ever see? I go and use my name.
See, I too confused. I know there's a Thompson last because
It
you know
was.
now you go back. Okay, well that's why I can say all two.
Thompson Russell. So I have to keep
Yes.
it too.
Well, let me make it easy. Chrissy Love.
Oh,
Chrissy Love is here contemplating whether or not she is willing to deal with the cold or Fox Hill prison,
the
which I
cold
cannot
of
believe.
America or the heat of Fox Hill.
I cannot believe this. I can't believe that that's actually an option.
Seriously. I was like, let me just come home and see if that bitch will arrest me. I mean,
So yeah, she is actually considering it because it is freezing where she is, and it's a little nippy here in Nassau in the Bahamas. It's about what 65, maybe
don't
65
make me
degrees.
throw my earring at you. 65?
Listen, I enjoy. You see me? I got on short sleeve shirt. I got on shorts, the same clothes I wear on a regular day. I have on now because I am embracing this nice cold weather
Something wrong
because I
with you,
love it.
Greg?
I like the cold. It's be hot. I can't take heat, Chrissy. I can't take heat. So I embrace the cold. The whole week and a half we have it out of the year, I embrace it. But a lot of Bahamians around the town complaining about how it's cold and they freeze and they got on all the clothes out their closet. Or every piece of clothes they buy from Walmart, they got on right now.
How much boots? How much boots was out?
Man, listen. Well, I been out. Well, I going out tonight. I can see tonight. I can count them and I can let you know.
Bahamas is run right out.
Run right out. I can give you the boot count tonight.
Say the boot count?
Yeah, I can give you the boot count tonight. So let's see, Sean say, Greg, let Andrew do your ads from now on. I hear Andrew putting out all kind of ads.
Yeah.
All kind of cookie caterer ads.
Cookie caterer ads. Look here. I was howling.
They funny. And you know Andrew Eddie no good.
Yeah.
But yes, it is nippy. Chrissy is here. She is clearly in a warm spot right now.
Yes, I'm inside.
When I called her earlier, she looked like the last Muslim, all wrapped up. I could barely see her eyes.
Greg.
Everything was wrapped around her mouth, around her head, trying to
Everything
protect
is
herself
hurt.
from that cold.
Everything is hurt.
Yeah, Bahamians don't know about that cold that is hurt because they complain about 65.
Y'all need to sit down.
Yeah, they need to really experience some cold. But yes, people, we are here to discuss separating church and state.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just dropped the phone on that one. Obviously,
And
the
people,
Bahamas change.
and people, we want you to get involved in this conversation. So if you want to call, I just put minutes on the Under the Rug Media phone today. It's
Yay!
804-5219. That's 804-5219. If you would like to call in and contribute, I especially want a real Christy churchy person call too, Chrissy. I need to talk to somebody
Yeah. I
that
want to hear
really
them
deep,
say.
that real deep in it. So if you are a
Yeah.
Christy person that believes that we need to make our laws based on the Bible, please call so we can have that discussion, because I don't agree with it, and I sure Chrissy don't agree with that. Because listen, some of the things that you have in the Bible, if we were to go by those laws, everybody would be dead.
Especially Leviticus. Half
Everybody would be
gone.
getting stoned. I mean, for every little thing, we would be stoning people and killing people.
But remember, only the women get stoned now. Remember, the women who commit adultery, only them get stoned because they was fucking they said.
Well, in that circumstance.
Bible.
Isn't it a beautiful book? But Chrissy, you're a Christian. And that's the book you live by?
I am a Christian, and I do believe in a lot of the tenets of Christianity. What I can't stand is the man-made religion and dogma that they just pull out their ass. There's a reason why it's called dogma, dog and your mom, dogma. People just be.
What's the difference, though? You gotta clarify
there is a
that.
difference. Christianity teaches us a lot of great principles: doing unto others, treating people as you want to be treated, showing Christ's love throughout the world, loving your fellow
Christianity,
man.
Though. We credit
a lot
Christianity
of religions
for that.
have a common thread, but I think some people are just fundamentalists and crazy. They go over the top. Like these Bamans who can't even pronounce Ecclesiastes and want to come talking about what thus said the Lord.
How do you pronounce it?
Ecclesiastes.
I hear ecclesiastics. All kind of pronunciations.
Religionists make you stupid, but I believe Christianity, Greg, has some great beliefs. Like, I'm glad I grew up in the church, Greg. I think that you growing up in the church has an impact on how you are as a person now, even though you don't believe that. So. But the thing is, you're right. When the separation of church and state, first of all, we've never had that in the Bahamas. We've never had that in the Bahamas.
And you hear people say it all the time, especially when they talk about the Constitution. They say it's based on Christian principles and values.
No, but that's not what it says. A guiding respect and a respect for Christian principles and values. The Bahamas is not a Christian nation. Even the founders of the Constitution, the founding fathers and mothers even said that's not true. I just think that we allow our Christiness to sometimes go to the extreme. Especially when you have men of the cloth talking about laws like your friend last week.
Who that is? Salacious Palacious?
Look here, I just love that. Why do you think I wanted you to say that? I just love it. I just love when you say that.
But he is. But you know what the sad, and this is why I wanted to discuss this today, because especially over the Christmas holiday, that was the time for the hot discussions, whether it be marital rape, whether it be the women dressing like prostitutes, as he said, for John Canoe. It was a lot of sex and rape and all of this talk over the holidays. And a lot of the arguments I was hearing from people being put forth was from, religion, from the Bible and this and that. And so this is why I wanted to discuss this today, because, and not just that, even when you go back to the gambling referendum, anytime we have major issues when it comes to law changes or anything, a lot of people's positions are stemmed from religion.
Right. Gender equality.
So, that was a big one. That was a massive one, especially that one, the gender equality. And in many respects, whether it be women not being equal to men or the gay issues that they tried to turn it into. So a lot of the positions were from religious positions, which is why I want to say, listen, y'all need to keep your religion out of my laws, okay?
I agree.
Because
especially the laws are for our bodies too as women.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because let's be real, not everyone in this country are Christians.
Yep.
Now, you may have the vast majority identify as Christians. I don't believe, to be honest with you, I truly believe that very few people are actually Christian in this country, but a lot of people identify as Christian. So who am I to say that they ain't? You know what I mean? That's what they call themselves. That's what they say they are. So most people identify themselves as Christians, but that's not everyone. And so it's unfair to base your laws on your religious belief when you have people that don't share that same belief.
Exactly. And don't force people. I think one of the things that frightens me in the Bahamas is that we want to force and beat our religion into people's throat, and we want to proselytize and convert. That is
Mm-hmm.
not your job.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when it comes to the laws of the land, that's not your job. It's like how
Right.
in the Bahamas we so Christian. If I have an unwanted pregnancy, I can't abort it because the laws of the land say that we Christians don't kill babies. But we all know
Mm.
that abortions are performed in the Bahamas daily. They just call them
Mm.
something else.
What do they call that? That's a secret. That's a
No,
code.
they call them things like DNC.
DNC? I thought that's the place you get food from.
Hello. I don't
On
know
Boyd
why
Road.
they named that food. Every time I eat that fettuccine, I think about scraping out your womb. It's
Wait, that
actually
food.
dilation and curettage. I can't. Anyway, it's a cleaning of the womb.
Really?
Yeah. So I just think when religion enters the legislation, and the thing is, we've had religious persons who have been in public office. So I guess that also puts a cloud on top of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most
But
definitely. And
everybody trying to show off they the most Christian. Everybody want out Christian one another.
yeah, and that's what it's like, and I hate to hear politicians refer to Bible verses or their Christianity when it comes to Parliament when they're talking about legislation and stuff. I hate when they bring those things into legislation and like that. We don't care about that. If you
Right.
believe these things, if you as a Christian and you're a devout Christian and you go to church this time and you believe
Keep
this,
it to
that's
yourself.
fine. Keep it to yourself. You know what I
Especially,
mean?
you can't use taxpayer money to convert and proselytize people.
Thank you. And to
And I think
preach.
that's what we do in the Bahamas. And especially
Yes.
when you've had like I'm not picking on her, but you may remember when Cynthia Pratt was the deputy prime minister. Every day was Christy Day.
Really?
We got
I
to
don't remember,
cry and Christify ourselves.
I don't remember much from that
Yeah, I
period.
know. Many of
I
us
just
don't remember that.
I just remember people complaining about her being national security minister. That's what I
Yeah.
remember.
But then we've always had our whole country has been based on a lot of religious figures being a
Hmm.
part of the political dialogue.
And that's another thing. Let's talk about that. The
Mm-hmm.
Christian Council.
Mm.
Such an appropriate response.
Mm.
And I used to really get upset hearing from the Christian Council on a lot of issues, especially when it came to like movies that come here.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, hold on.
the
Wait a
Plays
second.
and Films Control Board. The fact that board still exists, treating your people like they stupid. Like I used to tell one of my friends who's a preacher, I tell him, you don't get your rocks off, don't watch all the movies, and then you want to tell me I can't watch it.
This is what I'm saying. But like, how are you deciding what's appropriate
Yeah.
for grown adults to watch a flipping movie? You
Now some are
understand?
but some grown adults can't monitor. Like I know some stupid grown adults who would bring their baby to the R-rated movie and sneak them in. When people ain't watching, buy that
Yeah.
double ticket.
Yeah.
You
Well,
don't want to know the number.
Yeah, Dito, the number is 804-5219. That's 804-5219. Dito is a Christian name.
Uber Christian.
Uber Christian. Oh, please, Dito, let me call it dead slow for you. 804
Trapsy.
5219. That's 804-5219. Dito, please call us. Let's have a discussion because I'm confused. I don't understand how Christians, for the most part, because that's most of the population, feel that it's okay, feel that it's fair for what they believe, for them to just impose it upon other people, and we should just sit back and go with it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't know why they feel that that's okay. So please, Tito, please call us. The phone right here on the side of me. I'm waiting for your call so we could have this discussion, please.
Should
But
be
yeah,
good.
it should be awesome. I hope you call. But back to the Christian Council. So yeah, that used to always upset me when it comes to them giving. Now it's fine if you giving your input, but when you actually have a position of power or authority or influence that can actually sway the decision, that's a problem for me.
It is a huge
You know,
problem.
but he's saying you can't feel a certain way. You have your right to your opinion. You know what I mean? Okay, somebody calling. This might be him, Chrissy.
All right, Dito.
Let's see. Welcome under the rug. Hello.
Hello. Hey, Greg. It's Tito. Hey, Chrissy.
Hello.
Hey, Dito. How you doing, sweetie?
Hello.
You can hear?
I can hear Dito. You can
Yeah,
hear
I
me?
can hear Dito. Hold on. Let me see.
Greg,
Once.
plugs together.
Yeah, I gotta get this thing because I can't hear him. Let's see.
You can hear me, Greg?
Hey.
Why can't I hear Dito?
I'm in your kitchen being loud doing the show. Being loud doing the show. How are you? Oh, Thursday.
You could hear him
Thursday.
on the. You could hear him on
I
there.
could I could hear
Why
Dito.
can't I hear?
You can't
Why
hear?
can't I hear Dito? Everybody could hear Dito but me.
Tell him to call back then.
Oh, I don't call back, you know.
You have him
Let
on
me get.
speaker, right?
Let me get my headphones. I may have to plug in so I can hear him that way. Oh, let me put it on
Okay.
speaker. Let me see. Hello, Dito. Yeah, you can still hear him, Chrissy.
Tell him to talk again, please.
Hold on, let me put it to the mic. I can do this bootleg style. 1 second.
Junglist Radio.
Yeah, we can do this jungler style right now. All right, you talk, Dito.
All right, y'all can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Dito.
All right. All right. First, you saying like having your religious beliefs and putting it on into the legislation and stuff like that.
Right.
First things first, I gotta disagree with you because whatever your beliefs may be it Christian, Muslim, atheist, whatever it may be, that is the outlook you have on life. So therefore, that is going to influence whatever decisions you make. If you're a politician, it's going to influence how you make laws, right? Now, a lot of Bahamians going to disagree with me. I mean, those that are Christians, because most Christian churches or so-called Christian churches in the Bahamas, they take things way far left out of context.
No.
And as a person that watching under the rug for a while, seeing the things you say and and how you portray things, you seem to be a person that willing to read and understand. And a lot of the things in which I hear you say tend to be something that is very biblical based. Even though that's not your stance.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that people need to be y'all talk about misogyny and stuff in the Bible, right? Something I heard you say a while back is when they say, wives submit to your husband,
Mm-hmm.
right? But they stop right there. They don't read the rest of that where it says husband submit to your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We know that part.
A minute ago you were just talking about the laws and stuff in the Old Testament where a bunch of us would be stoned and stuff like that. True, according to the laws of the Old Testament, but people like to go ahead and quote those things, not understanding the context in which they are. Not understanding that those laws, all of the laws, were written to a specific people, the chosen people of God, the people of Israel. And it was there to separate them from everybody else. So you had all these other different societies and nations in which they did some of these things that in God's eyes is wrong. So God just wanted to do something to separate everybody out of that and say, hey, this is how you know these are my people.
Hold on, what? Okay, I'm confused now.
Yeah, the chosen people argument loses me all the time.
Yeah, I don't. You gotta translate that to real time and.
I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. What I'm saying is you gotta translate that one because you lose me on that.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, but separate with the God's people. So are you saying now that those things that were in the Bible in the Old Testament do not that they don't matter anymore? Like we're not supposed to go by those now? Who decides which parts of the Bible are still relevant? Who decides which laws should be followed and which ones should not be?
Okay. In the Old Testament, you had there were 613 laws given by Moses. And in those laws, you had laws like, hey, you had to don't sacrifice a dog, a sheep, a goat, whatever it was, right? You had laws that separated them as, you had laws split up into societal laws, moral laws, and like ceremonial laws. Now, moral laws, we all still abide by the base. Don't steal, don't kill. Even looking at not committing adultery. Basically, the 10 commandments.
But you know, most of the 10 commandments are just that you ain't supposed to have no other god above the one God, right?
Just keep
No,
the
that's only
first
the
two.
first two.
Hello?
Yeah, I said no. It's only the first two laws.
Only the first two?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look it back up again.
Honor thy father, thy mother. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. No, don't cover thy neighbor's wife. Don't cover thy neighbor's ass. Don't commit adultery.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do, if
These are how we supposed to treat other people.
right.
What you wanted to say, Chrissy?
No, I was saying, even the 10 commandments are extraneous because if you love God and you love your neighbors yourself, I don't have to put in don't thief, don't steal, don't cover they ox, they ass, they whatever, because that's
Mm-hmm.
extraneous. If you love God and love your neighbors yourself, you wouldn't do those things to your
Yeah,
neighbor. You won't kill, you won't disrespect. Christianity is a religion that really, again, I am a Christian, but it excuses a lot of behavior in the name of, oh, you can have another chance. What about not being an idiot from the beginning? What about that novel concept?
What about what?
The novel concept of not being an idiot. And Dito, I have a major problem with this whole chosen people. Why aren't we the chosen people? Why
Yeah,
do we support a religion that tells us
I
we're not
really,
worthy?
I still don't have clarification on what he was talking about. Where it comes with this was to separate the chosen
Well,
people. And
the
see,
Jews have that narrative about the chosen people.
my difficulty with all this Christianity and stuff is everyone says, "Oh, the interpretation is wrong." Who determines what interpretation is wrong and what's right?
Whoever got the biggest church.
Who is the ultimate interpreter of the Bible?
Okay, this is where I have a problem when people say, "Oh, but if you interpret, that's what you interpret, that's what I interpret." All of that is a bunch of BS and it's a bunch of bullshit.
That's what I'm saying.
Because if I talk to you, right, you say something to me, somebody can come say, "Yeah, I interpreted Greg say like this," but I can say I interpreted Greg say like that. This is a bunch of foolishness. You have a way in which you said something and it means a certain thing, right?
But here's the thing: does the Bible not create? Does the Bible not have a bunch of contradictions?
Of course.
No, it does not. No, it does
Okay,
not.
Dito. Dito, it does.
You can honestly say that the Bible has no contradictions whatsoever, Dito.
None. It has apparent contradictions. And it's contradictions when you look at it. When you look at it and somebody says, "Oh, look at this and look at that," and you say, "Okay, this is a contradiction," but then when you go into everything that goes along with it, you see, most people when they read the Bible, and I sure you go to any church, you see them, well, and let me say any church in Nassau, from the ones that I've been to, you see them start reading the Bible, they'll quote a verse out of the scripture, right? And then they go and they make their whole sermon about that one verse. But then you can get everything else that go along with it.
That's not every circumstance, though.
No,
You can present a lot of things in its proper context, and then someone else can present something else that contradicts it, and it's in that proper context. I can't see how you could honestly say that there are no contradictions in the Bible.
Yeah, I don't get that one either, Dito.
That is what I stand by.
Okay.
I would ask anybody, send me the contradiction.
Okay.
Let me look it up. Because I cannot say I've read the whole Bible. I cannot say I've studied the whole Bible.
Right. I haven't either. And I'm not gonna pretend to be a biblical scholar. So I'm not gonna act as though I know every and anything in the Bible and all, because I see someone here asking what are the contradictions. What I can do is I can look them up and then I can post them. I can probably come back in the comments and then post some contradictions that I find. But I especially me not being a Christian, I don't read the Bible. I grew up as a Christian. I grew up in the church, and I know what was taught to me and what was told to me in some verses. But like you said, I haven't read the Bible cover to cover, so I don't know everything that's in it. But I know I've done some research as to contradictions, as to some terrible verses, as to terrible laws that exist within the Bible. And so I have that in my memory banks, but I don't have every single thing. So I'll look up some and I'll read the entire thing to get the proper context, and then I can come back with some contradictions. But let's get your position as far as when it comes to law. Do you feel as though our laws should be written based upon the Bible?
I think, morally speaking, our laws should be based upon the Bible.
Now, what is morally speaking? Because that's subjective. And that's
Moral is
relative.
very subjective.
Now again, like I said, basically the Ten Commandments, basically, and then Jesus went ahead and further that. He said, like, these are the two greatest commandments: love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself.
Now, see, that's where we can disagree. Now, do you feel that those should be laws too?
What? Love your neighbor as you love yourself?
No. Having only one God.
You can't legislate morality.
Because
you said the Ten Commandments.
No, I don't think that those should. That is the law of God. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. There are people out there that are going to not believe in God.
Mm-hmm.
There are people out there that are going to believe in another God. That is all up to them. That's between them and God.
So you don't think all 10 commandments should be law?
And the spinach is solid.
And that's why I said, morally basically the 10 commandments. Most of the 10 commandments are moral.
Oh, turn it up so it can boil up.
Again, I see it's difficult when we get into the whole moral subject, because, like I say, morality is that's subjective, because you may, like, let's say, for example, right? Let me use a prime example that's always a hot topic: homosexuality. Christians believe that is immoral. Am I correct?
You put the spinach down and you put that stuff.
I don't. And many others don't believe that is not immoral. Chrissy, you heard me, Chrissy?
Yeah, I heard what Dito said, but then again,
no, I mean, we were like speaking about morality, right? And I told him, because it's subjective, and I told him a hot button topic that's usually discussed is homosexuality. Like, for example, Christians believe homosexuality is immoral. I don't.
Well, Christians tend to zero in on homosexuality when there are other sins that seems that Christians forget. Mm-hmm. I just don't understand this whole preoccupation with homosexuality when growing up as an Anglican, we were taught about the 7 deadly sins, and homosexuality is not one of them.
I agree with Christian on that. Christians do tend to focus on homosexuality. I mean, in the Bible, Paul wrote in Corinthians, he says, neither adulterers, nor fornicators, nor idolaters, nor homosexuals or effeminates will get to see the kingdom of heaven. So, I mean, class and all of that. Based on that, most of the Bahamas going to go to hell based on all the feedouts.
In the Bahamas,
exactly.
On adultery. Sorry, because adultery is a way of life in the Bahamas. They don't talk about idolaters either. Most churches you hear, especially those who want to interject their laws, like you may remember during the first gender equality situation, we had people screaming at Hollywood celebrities on Bay Street who were in the church talking about "you're gay, go home." The church tends to be very preoccupied with homosexuality. Of course, I have a theory on that.
What's that? Don't keep it, man.
What's
the theory
on that? There are a lot of homosexuals in the church. Like I was telling my friends in the church, you don't like gay people? Well, say goodbye to your choir.
Oh.
I just think it's such an argument based on false equivalencies.
Right.
You are so anti-homosexual, but do you speak about, like Dito said, do you speak about adultery? Hard to speak about adultery when your wife and your sweetheart sitting in the first 2 pews. Do you speak about idolatry? Do you speak about sloth? Do you speak about greed? Do you speak about envy? They
only speak out against the things that they use, that they don't do.
You can't pick the sins. This is not a smorgasbord.
Right. But that's why I can't, why I stay away from the whole Christianity religion type of thing, because it's like a buffet. People cherry pick. They pick things that benefit them, and they use it to their advantage.
Yeah.
And that's all they do.
I can't see the show.
Oh, I don't know what you do. We can see you fine, though. We can see you and hear you fine.
You see me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I can't see the comments. That's okay. But the thing is we could argue the Bible all day, right? But your laws, while you can say you have an abiding respect for Christian values and principles, you cannot force your Christianity onto the citizenry.
Right.
And that's what happens a lot in our country.
Right. And I wanna go ahead, Dito.
But That's where I'm not saying the false Christianity, but you asked about in terms of making the laws themselves. Like you said, Jesus broke it down. The second commandment: love your neighbor as you love yourself. Everything else, everything. If you go and you make laws based on that, every law that you make, if you're looking at the other person as yourself and you're not going to do something to harm them,
but it's funny, Dito, and I glad you said that, right? I'm glad you brought that up, because my thing is, I think what we tend to do is we credit Christianity for a lot of things that I personally don't feel it deserves credit for, because that to me is humanity. That's just good humanity. That's not Christianity. You don't need Christianity because, like Chrissy said earlier, there are many religions that share the same principles when it comes to those things, at least when it comes to that principle, which is do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
And be decent.
Christianity is not the only religion that has that principle. And people like me that doesn't have any religion, I believe in that as well. That's just humanity to me. So this is why I say we don't need the Bible or religion to be able to make laws that work for the citizens, right? This is my whole issue. Because even you said earlier, first you said that you think that laws should be based on the Bible, but then you can also admit that you don't think that all laws should be based all biblical principles should be law, because you said you wouldn't agree to those commandments that said there's only one God, but you could agree to some. So again, it's a cherry picking thing from the Bible. So I think we should just move the Bible out the way on the whole. You don't need the Bible. Let's go off of human principles.
Christians need the Bible.
Christians need the Bible for what?
Jews need the Torah. Muslims need the Quran. And you know what kills me about Christianity? Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, they all fussing and rounding one another, but they're all Abrahamic religions, all coming from the root of Abraham. We just like to argue about needless crap. Yep. And that's why our legislators believe they gotta, always talk about the Lord. And I don't mind you talking about the Lord, but again, in our legislation, the laws must benefit the majority of the citizens. And like you said earlier, a lot of the citizens are not Bible-thumping Christians.
Right. All right, Dito, I want to thank you for calling. We have someone else trying to call in. Let me see if we can get some more people in. Thank you so much again, Dito.
Hey, Dito. Lord, I remember Dito was two.
Lord, they hang up.
Big white too.
The person that was calling just now, if you could please call us back. We'd like to hear what you have to say on the topic. And again, we thank Dito for his contribution. Again.
By convictions.
Okay, they're calling back. Let's see what they deal with.
Greg, but how come I can't see everything though? Shut up, Greg. If you say old people.
Welcome under the rug. Thank you for calling. What's going on? Who is this?
This is Gerard, man.
Oh, this Gerard. What you saying, boy?
Yeah, man. I trying to figure out if you remember who the loyalist was?
Not too much. Hey, listen, I can tell you now, I'm not a big historian. I'm big on history. So if you go back in time, you can lose me.
Loyalists, right? And people who come from England who went to America, right? When you get tired of the laws with the country which you live in, move someplace else. I tired of these Bohemians who are just chronic complainers. They complain about everything. They complain about the PLP. They complain about the FLM. When you was born and you go on to your granny house, right? Like this country is like your granny house. And your granny say, hey, look here, lying is like cussing. And if you say, oh, homie, you lie, you get slapped in the mouth. When you become of age and feel that you want some say, don't come inside your granny house talking about, oh, you lie. No, because guess what, it's still young, and if you feel like that's what I can't deal with it, then move out.
Hold on now, Gerard. Now tell me, so you telling me your position is if you don't like the way your country operates and the laws that they
move
make,
out,
just leave?
Well, you see what Chrissy do?
No.
I mean, Chrissy, but I mean,
no, get your story right.
If you feel that way about it, right? If you feel that way about it, if you feel that strongly about it, let me show you what we do. I operate just like how the whites operate, right? If I want to be around a certain set of people, I move out east. When too much of the Negroes come out east, I move them there. Hartford Cove, When too much of the Negroes start moving, turn the cool like when too much of the
But you could be Gerard. You could be bouncing around like ping pong, Gerard. Hold on, Gerard. You could.
you can't bounce around if you have yourself set up.
Okay.
If you have yourself set up, then you gotta step granny till you get money.
Okay. Here.
If you don't do anything, then you have your stuff up because then you can be considered radical.
Okay.
No.
No. Okay.
People who stand up for beginning, the unions don't have their back. A person like Chrissy, instead of people that make noise for Chrissy and try to advocate for Chrissy, they're foreigners who come from the UN. And they rather tricky back and her campaign rather than trying to stand up for their own. Because they don't even know what's relevant now to complain about.
All right. Now, Gerard.
Okay. First of all, let's tell Gerard that we live in a democracy.
I don't think we should. Because people don't know how to appreciate
Wow.
it.
Well, I have nothing else to say then. Gerard sounds like he wants a theocracy or a dictatorship.
Gerard, I think Gerard more want a dictatorship. Am I correct, Gerard?
No, I mean, people don't know how to appreciate it because guess what? The Bahamas isn't just you running the country. It's you and me. So just because it isn't going the way how you want it to be, like, come on, like, come to a platform, like, come out to a town hall, I mean, stop complaining. Like, all you can do is just complain. And when the people like Chrissy then come up and stand up for certain people, like, then they're going to be like, oh, no, I can't lose my control. Oh, no, Chrissy don't get money. They can afford to go to the United States. They get 2 passports. I can't do that. There's one CAA. But then where we could be?
Hold on now, Gerard.
Gerard mixing up everything.
Yeah. I was about to say you mix. It sounds like you're saying a couple different things. Now let's unpack. Let's unpack for a second, right? Now, one of the things that I could agree with is where you say Bahamians love to complain and then ain't doing nothing about it, right?
Yeah.
We agree on that one.
Yeah.
And I agree. You just said, listen, take action, come out to town hall meetings, do stuff like that. I agree with that. Now, that kind of is in conflict with what you were saying earlier, where it was, if you don't like it, just move.
Right.
Now, which is it? Should you stay and fight and be active and try to get things the way you want it, or should you just say, man, this ain't make no sense, let me move? I'm confused.
What I'm saying to you is 2 different scenario of people. You have those who can move and you have those who can't. Those who see themselves that they can't move and they can't get away from it, then come out to the town hall meetings. But those who can move, then nigga, you need to go. Stop complaining, since you have enough money to go.
But before the town hall,
don't want to move. Go ahead.
Before the town hall, start in your community. I think you are making a micro. You're giving us a bigger problem as opposed to focusing on the everyday problems. If you do not like something and you're a citizen, the everyday problems that Bahamians face. I mean, I know we're all nationalists and we love our country, but let's not lie to ourselves. Mm-hmm. Things are not hunky-dory. Things aren't hunky-dory anywhere.
Right.
This show talking about legislators imposing their religious views on people. We don't live in a theocracy.
Mm-hmm.
We don't live in a place where like the countries where the clerics decide what's going to happen. This is not where we live. And so if we have a problem with that...
Why are you in denial? We are. That's what you're saying. Like the same people who make the law, use their religion, use their belief to set what our law should be. You are saying that. So how could you say that we don't live in a place like that? That's because you don't want it to be like that.
No, that's not true. Gerard, we live in a parliamentary democracy.
Where everybody is so-called. What you say, Greg?
What I think your argument is, I think Gerard is saying what is practice, what the reality of the situation is, and Chrissy is saying what it should be, what it is in theory.
In the center, right? More.
And those tend to be different things at times, because the way something should operate is not necessarily the way it operates in practice.
It's gonna melt.
Say that again, Gerard. Yeah, you could put the phone closer to your mouth. What'd you say?
Yeah.
Put in the same. Sorry.
A woman's doctor, but in reality, he's a man. is the mother factor.
Yeah.
We can't base fact off of what you feel. Fact is fact. The
Right,
fact is
right.
we are run by a country, right, which is run by men that still think back in the 1940s that males have the right of way, that women have right to see, that you should be barefoot and pregnant. Until we see that, until you run for parliament, until you be that person that change, until that change starts with you, this country isn't going to be no better than the people you complain about.
Mm-hmm.
So stop complaining and start doing something. Because I get sick and tired of everybody just complaining. Nobody trying to come out. We got the same candidates every year. The same candidates coming out. Nobody want to do no work in the off season. Y'all just don't come out when it's election time. I'm like, nobody want to. I got to get out this year. Camille does homework.
Okay.
But okay.
Okay, I got what you said. All right, Gerard. Okay, Gerard, we can discuss your comments. Thank you for calling, Gerard. Appreciate it. All right,
Today's topic is should, and we don't should on this show either, ought the legislators impose their so-called Christian views on legislation?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a lot of the people in the Bahamas subscribe to Christianity. However, laws are made for the benefit of all the citizens. I know in the Bahamas we're used to the select few determining what happens in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people are missing that point. As a citizen, you have a right to complain. As a citizen, you have a right to speak out about things that aren't working. And this doesn't mean you are negating your Christianity, because God wants us to be Christians with sense. I think a lot of us who say we're Christians, we just regurgitate something that somebody taught us, and it don't make no sense. You know, if we had our way, people who were women, like I said, I bring up the Bible story about the woman who committed adultery, and she was the only one stoned. Christianity, religion, has a patriarchy that already discriminates. Lord, I can't take it. Jasmine say, BC cutting off the light every day. I can't take it. Anyway, but I think we missed the point. The point is the citizens are entitled to representation that reflects the views, the feelings, the mindset of all the citizenry, not just the ones jumping and shouting and speaking in tongues. I think we miss that sometimes. So when Gerard was saying, if you don't like it, then come out, mommy house, please.
I think what I sense was a lot of frustration from Gerard, and I understand most of it in terms of what he was speaking about. That we do have a nation of complainers that when it's actually time to take action to fix the things, or the opportunity presents itself to fix the things you're complaining about, everybody seems to disappear. It seems as though we've developed a culture of complaining and we just content with that. Right. We just want to complain. And I say all the time, what I believe led to that is because of the way we raise our children. We raise them to shut up, sit down, go in the corner, don't say nothing, don't express yourself. You have nothing to say. And so they become adults, and the very opportunity they get, they want just express themselves all the time now. Complain. But they don't really take the action. So I understand that aspect, but I don't completely agree with, if you don't like the things, just move. Because, you know, like some people said earlier, not everybody has...
Don't link me into I don't like it, so I move. That's another kettle of fish, boo-boo.
Yeah. Right, and not everyone has that. You know, not everyone could just pick up and go anytime, anywhere. You know what I mean?
I agree. That's not the reality.
And we should not allow people to just do what they want. You know what I mean? If you live in a country and you see wrongdoing, if you see things and they're not the way it should be, you should fight against it. You shouldn't just pick up and go. So that's where we disagree. As it relates to Gerard comments.
It is your right as a citizen to talk about the things that aren't working. And again, we love our country, but a lot of shit don't work.
Right, I agree.
Jasmine made a joke about BEC.
Yeah, she says, so I don't have the right to complain about BEC. Yes, you do have the right to complain about BEC.
Especially when we know our daily constraints living in a small island nation. Mm-hmm. Okay, anyone with eyes could see what's happening. Jasmine, don't make me laugh. Mm-hmm. Everyone with eyes could see what's happening in our country. Mm-hmm. All right?
Right.
But the topic of this conversation, I see Cherry is talking it too. Church and state need to not mix. That's like oil and water.
Yeah, I agree. But some people don't, and I don't understand how. So I want to speak to someone that does not agree, because although Dito is a Christian, I think Dito actually agrees with us that church and state should be separate. based on his comments, because he said, a lot of the stuff when it comes to the Bible, he doesn't think should be law. He doesn't agree with it. So that's a separation. And I completely I don't think we need religion to make laws.
The moral law, man's law, God's law, the natural law, the universal laws. If people would just be decent, what's right from wrong. Human beings are higher up on the totem pole. We're a bit different from the beasts in the field, so they say. Although I know some cat who does act better than some of us. But we are supposed to know right from wrong. We're supposed to. It's true.
Matter of fact, I saw some cat in yellow elder the other day. I couldn't tell the difference between their actions and some human beings they see. They had big fight in the road. I mean, the cat was getting beat so bad. The cat was pissing up himself in the road, getting beat up. And I say, boy, this looks like a couple of gals I see fighting in the road the other day.
Look here.
This don't look no different.
Exactly. Because we have to stop, and I always say this, we have to stop celebrating excellence and mediocrity in the Bahamas. It's like we just gravitate toward the mediocre. And that's something that we can, I think all Bahamians want to do better. And in the Bahamas, whenever you bring up God and you open up that can of worms, that's why the gender equality thing failed too. You bring up God in the mix, people's brains go south.
Well, God and homosexuality, of course, that one.
Well, the tree. What's
the tree? And the homosexuality go back to God anyhow.
What's the tree? What's my tree H's that scare Bahamians?
Haitians. Homosexuals. And what the last one is?
Heathens.
Remind me. Heathen. Well, yeah, you're right. Me.
If you ain't Christy, if you ain't uber Christy, something wrong with you. But the thing is, like I said, we are all expressions of something bigger than us. And whether you put that man-made dogma on it, or whether you just believe that there's a higher authority you're supposed to answer to.
Yeah.
I think that we're supposed to act a certain way. And our legislators, just because you are in them 38 seats, that does not mean that you're the dictator. I think we're just so used to these megalomaniacal, egotistical prime ministers that we just expect people to lord over us and tell us what we must do.
Yep.
Because like you said, we're scared. We tell our children, shut up. Don't be heard. Just be, don't be seen or heard.
Don't challenge authority. Don't do this.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
And that's wrong. And that's why we have the country we have now.
Yeah, a lot, and that's why, and exactly what you just said, and this is what Gerard was complaining about. We have these passive people that just complain because they in fear. They fear what their actions may bring about if they actually do something to try and change it. They fear the consequences because of the way we raise them. Let me try and get through a couple of these comments. And I've been putting up, some of the comments periodically so people watching the video could see.
Cherry had some good comments. How come I can't see the comments?
This program allowed me to put it up on the screen so we could all see it. Let me read see, I can need some of y'all to start putting the name on your passport on your Facebook account, please. Thanks.
You don't like Cherry? I like Cherry.
D for real Clinton. Clinton says we should move towards
that have Ms in it.
Yeah, but everybody, you remember when almost everybody had Ms in their name?
Yeah.
Ms. Pump Pump Turn Up Roll and all of these things. So T for real Clinton says we should move towards legalizing it with lots of education and regulations. Colorado earned over $1 billion from taxes from marijuana. Not saying that the Bahamas would collect that much in revenue, but I'm pretty sure the amount of money made from tax on marijuana would go a long way in building the treasury. I agree. It's a plan. I don't see why a plan illegal. Don't make sense to me.
Moot. What did Dwayne Sands just say? We're not having a discussion on marijuana. So why,
exactly.
See, Bahamians like to talk about things. That's like saying, let's discuss why the water wet. The water wet, nigga?
What next?
Maybe I just have no patience. Maybe it's me. I think I'm getting old and crotchety. Shut up, Greg.
Maybe. Maybe you've been there. Anyhow, this Gerard commenting, right? He say, how could they be different when the people creating laws are religious? And I think someone alluded to this earlier, right? But there's someone alluded to this earlier, which actually makes sense, but it shouldn't be this way. And they said a lot of people outlook on life is shaped from their religious belief or their religious foundation, right? This is how they see life. And so we can only expect them to make the decisions within that vein, within that perspective that they have based on their religious foundation. But
we expect you to make laws for everyone.
Right. But this is what I'm going to say. I understand that and it makes sense, right? But especially if you're in public office and you serve in a country, you have to be able to separate that. And I know that's hard because a lot of you people, your religion is your identity to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's who you are. So it's you don't see separation when it comes to that. But your religion has to be private. You have to learn how to separate your religious belief from your life in public office, especially if you're public policy maker. You have to be able to make that separation because your religion is not what everybody shares, and you're making laws for everybody to follow.
Yep.
You understand? So you cannot be dragging your personal, private, religious beliefs into your policy making. I understand that they do it, and I think that's what Gerard was saying and someone else was saying. The reality is people do it, but that does not make it right.
It is
that
not
does not
right.
mean that it should.
Again, this is a democracy. This is not a theocracy. This is not a dictatorship. This is a democracy. And what's that great quote that says, democracy may not be the best system, but it's the best one we got.
But we don't try that now.
Participates in democracy. Now, Bahamians tend to be a little passive when it comes to participation. But, you know, child, I don't know. And, you know, as the nation gets younger, it's amazing that we're such a young nation, but we still have these old ideals. I don't get it.
But I like I've said on so many shows, right, Chrissy, that just goes to show you, and I'm learning more and more, the power of tradition.
Yeah.
Tradition is an incredibly powerful influence.
That's true.
So people that have set this foundation and these rules, I mean, a lot of these stuff, hundreds of years ago, these principles were set, and we still following them to this day. Yep. Even if they don't make sense or apply to the way we live right now, we still apply them because most people don't want to change things.
Right.
Most people just want to go along, to get along. Don't want to, stir up too much. Don't want to, upset the apple cart. Don't want to change much. Let me just coast through, enjoy life, and just I don't want, upset nobody or nothing like that. Let me just cruise. That's what most people tend to do. So they don't challenge things. They just go, well, this is how it's been done. This is the way it always been done. Well, this is how I can continue to do it.
Well, why hold on to, and this is something that always bugs me with my country, and maybe because I'm in America, one of the great things about being in America, it's a great land expanse, so you can distance yourself from cuckoo. Mm-hmm. On Nassau, 21/7, it's very hard to step away from cuckoo. Mm-hmm. And so I don't understand holding on to things that are not serving you. I could see if the country was working wonderfully and everything was on point. Why embrace things that are not working for your highest good?
But that's perspective. Stupid. That's perspective, though, Chrissy, because the country is working wonderfully for a lot of people.
For 60 families.
Not just them.
All things are working? Really?
Because
I don't get it. See, when you light off, like on the January 1st, when I see everybody complaining about the light, everybody complaining about the price of food, everybody complaining about the utilities, the thing is, I'm not saying that we're an old nation, but at 45, there's certain things that we ought to expect.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. And the thing is, the separation of church and state is going to put us on a good footing where we can. There's nothing wrong with loving the Lord. Love the Lord at home, but when you come into the House of Parliament and the Senate, love the law. LAW. Keep the Lord in your house. Keep the law for the country.
I like that. Keep the law and the Lord separate.
Ooh, child, let me put that down.
Keep the law and the Lord separate. Let me read Kendora comment. Kendora say, I have stopped judging people in fight videos without knowing the story. I've seen a video get bad comments. Look at these hood rats fighting like dogs when it truly was only one person's fault and the other lady was only defending herself. In a situation where you are defending yourself and someone pulls out a camera, would you want people judging you for defending yourself? Well, that's a fair point, and you are a very mature person, and you have the right perspective in mind. I agree with you, and I do the same thing. But unfortunately, most people are not like you, as we are well aware. Most people, especially in this day and age, this judgy day and age that we live in, most people are not going to do that. Most people just want to jump out the window and take one extreme in right off the bat without knowing the context, without knowing the situation or anything. That's how most people tend to operate. It's very unfortunate, but it's the reality of the situation. So I want to encourage you to keep doing that, Kendora. Keep having that, outlook, because that's the way you should be, in my opinion. Some people make this.
Well, a lot of people are under-socialized, and that's why I think the religion coming into the law, a lot of Bahamians like it because Bahamians are always looking for the Messiah to lead them. Bahamians are
Right.
always looking for the light to guide them. Bahamians
Right.
are looking like there's not a lot of free thinking and individuality that we
Hmm.
espouse in our country. We are
Right.
very much we are looking for someone to tell us, like, you know how the shepherd got to take the sheep. Since we talk about
Yeah.
religion,
And you know
but
what make it worse?
you have to think though. God gave
That's
you a
a
brain.
that's a wonderful point you brought up, because you know what? That may be the case for a lot of people still, but you know what it's turning
Yeah.
into? You know what's becoming God, which is the
What's that?
leading the person into how to think? The internets,
Oh
social
yeah.
media. People need to
So
go
boy.
online, they need to go on Twitter or Facebook or whatever to learn how they should feel on a particular topic. This is
Yeah.
where they now getting their opinions from. It's not
Well,
from
everybody in
themselves.
critical thinkers. We don't. We
Right.
critical thinking is not. It's a skill that has to be encouraged. If you're
Yeah.
taught, like you said, children should be seen and not heard. Children should be
Right.
seen and not heard. You grow up to be that adult who's seen and not heard. You grow up to
Hmm.
be that adult who doesn't want to espouse an opinion. Because again, I keep telling people that what's happening to me ain't got nothing to do with me. What's happening
Hmm.
to me is to tell you Bahamians, if you dare jump out of line and you dare speak up, we can chop you down, or we
Yep.
can try. And
Yep.
so we're not encouraged to be free thinkers. We're not encouraged to have an opinion that's different. We don't.
Right.
We're not encouraged to have contrasting points of view because we're all, like you said, we're all just supposed to be zombies, just following the line.
Hmm. I
And
agree.
that's why. And religion makes you a zombie to a degree too. Especially, I love Dito dearly, but you can tell me ain't no contradictions in the Bible, please.
Yeah, that's you gotta be. Yeah, I gotta get down with that. But let's see what Dino says. He says, "What about laws that are made for the few that hurts the many? Like in Canada, if you call a woman who identifies as a man by female pronouns, you can be prosecuted for that." Now, very important point, Dito. And let me tell
Yeah,
you, I agree with you on that. I think
yeah,
that's a ridiculous law.
it
I
is
think that's crazy. But that's when you let extremism take over. That's
exactly,
extreme left wingism, if that's a word or
exactly.
term. That's like going off of the deep end. Like, that is ridiculous to me. I don't agree with that. And that is a problem. That is a problem, Dito.
Yeah, but all we have extremists in every in
Exactly.
every
Every
country,
facet,
every
everything,
religion.
everything. Everything
People
has
is like you
extremists.
say in the Bahamas. People just run out,
People is run out. Exactly. And you can find
run out.
extremists in every single everything. You love
Right.
extremists.
And I like
And
when they
that's
introduce themselves. You ever notice when they introduce themselves? Hi, my name is Jade, and my pronouns are they.
oh
Um,
jeez.
well, what they, their, and them. I love that. I'm like, do
I
you have a cock or a vagina? What you got? That's your pronoun. Anyway, no, let me stop. No, let me stop. Just in case, in America,
that's a
gotta
whole
be more.
that's a whole nother show. You know what? I think we can do a show. You know what, Chrissy? I think we can get more controversial this year. I was light last
Yeah,
year. I
you
think I
were
was
Greg.
dead light last year. This year, I think we can be tackling even more controversial topics,
We have
because
to
that's what this show was started for.
under the rug.
Yeah, that's what it was started for. So we can deal with those stuff. We can do a whole show on that whole when it comes to pronouns and transgenderism and all of that
My
stuff. We can deal
pronouns are
with
they, them, and their.
all of that. So Dito and
Yeah.
everybody else, y'all please tune in for that. We can have a whole show on that.
Thank God for you,
Let's see.
Greg. Because these are the conversations that regular terrestrial radio and TV don't want to talk about. When I brought
No.
on Vicky, the first Bahamian transgender woman,
Mhm.
I mean, the radio station wanted to have a fit.
Of course.
I'm
Of
just like,
course.
this is a woman, a Bahamian man who's now a woman. That's a story to be told. I just
Right.
think Christianity, and again, I love the Lord, but sometimes we have to stop being so myopic in our thinking. You can love God, but you can also have an expanded mind.
Right. Hold on now. Which Lord you love now?
Well, I'm a Christian, so I identify with, the Lord and Savior, the Trinity, the three in one.
The who?
Even
Tree
though
and
I
what?
don't believe in a lot, the three in one, not the Trinity, not the onion, green pepper, and celery, which is cut up in your food, the Trinity.
Okay. Not the 3 for
Father,
5?
Son, and Holy Spirit. And then again, I will admit I'm a Christian, but I'm a different kind of Christian because when I refer to God, I refer to God, Father, Mother, God. God is
Mm.
male and female. God is duality. Bahamians just believe this white man sitting up on the cloud. And then, I don't know. It's just, I just have a problem with people believing things that were once used to abuse them.
Yeah, I agree.
I
It
don't
just
get
doesn't
it.
make sense.
I don't
I don't
get
get
it.
it
But
either.
then,
I don't understand it
child,
either.
but keep your
I don't.
laws
Yeah.
and the Lord, keep the Lord in your house.
Keep
Like
your
this
keep
gender
that's
equality.
private. I think you got to learn. People need to really learn how to separate that. Listen, I'm not saying that you shouldn't believe what you believe. Like I say all the time, if you want to believe in the giant spaghetti monster, that's on you. That is on you.
Not
If
the
you
giant
want to
spaghetti monster.
believe, yeah, if you want to believe in the pine tree on the park, and that is the creator of life, whatever you want to believe, listen, that's on you. That's your
But
personal
don't crush
belief.
other people's beliefs.
Just
What
don't
Bahamians
try.
do is crush other people's beliefs.
Yeah, don't
That's what I
try
don't
them.
like.
I don't like when you present it as truth. You understand?
Or the only truth.
The only truth.
That's your truth.
There's only one truth. You understand?
Yeah,
I don't like
but
when you present it as truth. You understand? And I see
it depends
Jazz.
on your lens, though. For the
Jazz
Christian, the truth is Jesus. You know,
Well,
for the Muslim, the truth is Allah. For the for the Jew, we have to respect people's opinions.
That's
And
their
remember
right.
when,
But we gotta learn. But see, Chrissy, at first we have to learn the difference. We have to learn the difference between truth or fact and opinion. I still don't think we know
that's
the
true.
difference. When you see the conversations that people have, people do not know the difference between an opinion and fact.
My dad used to say, you can have your own opinions, but you can't have your own facts.
Yes.
Facts are irrefutable. It's
And that's why
the universal law.
Yeah, and that's why I don't agree with that's their truth. No, that's not their truth. That's
you look at your truth through a prism of, like, if you're a Christianity, you're going to look at that truth through the prism of Christianity.
But that's a belief system.
Yeah, well, like how when Christians say Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light. So I say, so what happened to all the other people who believe something different? There's no paradise for them.
So they're wrong then.
And you know what has killed me? And I don't mean to boast Christianity. You know, for y'all some of the youngest religion and have so much mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, keep your laws and the religion separate.
Yes, please.
Pass the gender equality bill.
Yes, please stop using the Bible. Listen, and you hear me say it all the time, Chrissy. When you all start an argument with the Bible, quoting the Bible, that is completely useless in a conversation with me, because I could always yuck out Harry Potter and I could start quoting from there too, and I got the two of them in the same vein.
Greg, look here, you ain't easy.
I hold the two of them in the same vein. I don't want to have an argument about the three little pigs. Let's talk sense. If we're talking about public policy, if we're talking about laws, if we're talking about these important issues and moving forward, I don't want to be talking about the boogeyman. You understand?
The allegory in the Bible, a lot of times, speaks to the lessons of life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are times, like I said, Christianity has its great tenets and beliefs that inspire you to be a better person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but everything else, people is run out.
Yeah, look at Dito running out right now. What if my truth says your truth is a lie? Is it still true?
Who is you to say that? You stick to your truth. I'm gonna stick to my truth.
See, and this is what I said, right? Let's clarify. Let's wrap it up by clarifying.
That's an hour already.
Yeah, that's an hour already. Let's wrap it up by making a distinction. Let's get everybody on the same page of what is fact and opinion. Right? Okay. Here's a good simple example we could use.
Piss everybody off. I feel
simple example. It is a fact. It is a fact that LeBron James has. Well, I can get it wrong. I can look it up. But how much he have? 4 or 5 MVP awards. Right? You can look it up. Whatever stats, those things are facts. Let's say he averages 28 points a game. That's fact. It is an opinion that he's the greatest player of all time.
Yes, gotcha.
Fact. Opinion. You understand? I could believe that Mark Price is the greatest NBA player of all time. I'm not wrong because
who that?
Exactly.
We don't know him like we know LeBron.
Exactly. But that is no. I am not wrong because that is my opinion. How the greatest player is an opinion. I would be wrong if I said Mark Price leads the NBA in scoring. That is incorrect.
Okay, I got you.
So there's difference between fact and opinion.
Yeah,
you understand?
I think we're learning that. I think Bahamians are expanding their mind and expanding the conversation and not just say things based on rote learning and just because you're being sheeple and mommy and daddy tell you to say that. I think we're learning.
Yeah.
I think we're expanding.
I don't know. I hope so, because like I say, some of the conversations I see and the things that people pass off as truth, I'm like, listen, y'all need to learn what is truth and what is opinion. Please learn the difference. We would have a lot less arguments and a lot more progress in the nation, in the world, if we could just deal with facts as opposed to opinions. You understand? Now, some things you need opinions in some circumstances. We ain't saying ain't no place for opinions. But when it comes to making laws, your opinion on how we got here when it comes to creation and your religion, that those things have no place in legislation.
I agree.
No place whatsoever.
I agree.
So that's how I feel. And I'm willing to have a discussion with someone that completely disagrees. If we could have this discussion on another date, if you want to come on the show, hit me up, send me a message either through the Under the Rug podcast page or Under the Rug Media Group. However you reach me on Facebook or however through the website, goundertherug.com is the website. Reach out to me if you disagree and you want to discuss it. Now, like I say, do not bring the Bible because I can bring Harry Potter and we could go back and forth with quotes.
Which book? Which Harry Potter book?
The third one. Which one? What that name? You know, I ain't watch or read now. I just know plenty of them.
You know,
I just know it's plenty of them.
Greg Colley, you just out of order.
No, man, I being serious. Let's talk sense. You understand? Let's talk actual sense, man. Let's talk some facts. Let's talk some numbers. Gotcha. Let's talk real stuff, not no fantasy stuff. You know what I mean? And like I say, no, none of that. And if you want to believe in it, that's fine. I ain't saying you can't. You know, I ain't saying cut your God off or stop believing. Believe whatever you want to believe in. But if we talking about, you know, moving the country forward, dealing with real issues, let's talk some real stuff, real facts, real life stuff, man. Not no fantasy stuff. You know what I mean? Leave that stuff at home. Leave that stuff in church.
And the good part is with the younger members of parliament, well, I know, look, I could think of 2 members of parliament who are, in fact, religious. They are clergy as well as ministers. And I was having a conversation with one about that balance between realizing that you're the minister of national security for the Bahamas. You're the minister of Jesus at home or in your church.
Yeah.
You know, I think we're starting to have that conversation. So we remain hopeful. I am still hopeful. Even though we pop down, I'm hopeful.
Yeah. And politicians, please stop. Please, I beg of thee. Please stop bringing up God, Jesus, the Bible.
Like when you in Parliament, say crime is down by the grace of God.
Yeah. When you are making public statements as it relates to the state of the nation, or you are talking in the House of Assembly, you talking policy, you talking stuff like that, keep your religion out of that, please. We don't want to hear about God and because of God, and we pray. Let's pray for this and pray for that.
No,
keep that out. Yes, let's. What you could do? I want to hear how much times you can pray. We don't. Prayer ain't gonna fix these things. Let's hear what you can do.
Things now, Greg. Prayer does change
Chrissy,
things.
Don't talk no fool around here.
Works is dead.
Hold on, Chrissy. No. Chrissy, I cannot allow you to say a statement like that and get away with that. Prayer don't change.
But you must act as well.
Let me tell you why prayer don't change nothing, right?
Yeah, let me hear this. Prayer with action.
Listen, you're a Christian, right?
Sometime.
So, is it true that whatever is in God's will be done?
Well, that's what we're taught. Thy will be done.
I asked you, Chrissy.
Again, as a Christian, I have a problem with that because some of the will that happening, I'd be like, so what the hell that had happened for?
But this is what I'm saying. For you to say something like prayer does change things, what basis is that off of?
I've proven that.
How?
But of course, it has to come with action. You just
how have you proved that?
There are many personal experiences where prayer has changed things.
And you're pretty sure that it's prayer. You can prove that that's causation in between the prayer.
Yes, because it comes out of the unexpected.
How about it's the action?
Okay, let me tell you the other day, right? The other day,
go ahead.
Business, right? The other day, I'm minding my business, and I can call their name because Behemoth's Trap Scene, they might call them. I'm minding my business, right? And the day I thought I had paid a bill that was $513, right? You know, I always talking about money. And when the person said, well, we took your credit card, but we didn't run it. So, of course, by the time they go to run it, it didn't go through. Why the next, I said this out of my mouth, God, only you can fix this because I don't see what can happen. Only you, Lord. So why the next maybe 10 minutes, I see my phone bing, Facebook. Hey, Chrissy, it's so-and-so. I want to give you $500 today. Something just was on my spirit today to give you $500. You know, I believe that prayer changes things, but it has to be with action. Don't just sit on your ass and pray.
Now, see, there's a difference. You know what I like what you just said?
What? Don't sit on your ass?
No, you said, I believe that prayer changes things.
I do.
Earlier you said prayer changes things.
No, but this is, okay, well, one is a declaration. One is the thought behind it. I believe it does.
Now, and that's fine. I see, as long as you
I'm
present
looking
it
through my Christian lens. Remember,
right,
I'm
and
looking
this
through my Christian lens.
and this is what I was saying earlier. This is exactly the problem, right? This is what I was saying. When you say, I believe prayer changes things,
Okay, well,
I
I
have no
believe it
problem
too.
with I got no
Prayer
problem with
does
that
change
statement.
things.
When you say it as a definite prayer changes things and that's
It
a
does.
fact,
Prayer
that's
does
what I
change
have a problem
things.
with. I have a problem with that.
But not
But
with
I,
just. But again, there are variables to it. You don't just sit on your ass and be like, "Okay, Lord, we can pray. Let us pray." No, you got to be working toward that high calling that Christians like to talk about. You got to press toward the mark.
wow.
I need to open one church. Now that I'm a minister, I need to open one church.
Anyway, let me wrap this up. Let's close with this comment. Jasmine says, the last pastor I heard sat silent as his members shouted, they need to kill all them sissies.
Well, the assholes who said that, right now they sissies too. Let me tell you, Bahamian, something. Half of y'all who bitching about sissies, you either have latent homosexual tendencies yourself, or you're mad at the world because one of your parents gay. Like plenty of Bahamian man mad at their ma because they ma turn out to be lesbian. Go talk to Jay-Z. He can help you.
Yeah. Yeah. But we gotta stop
Kill the
with this.
sissies.
That's again, this is embedded in
Plenty
our
sissies
culture.
in the pulpit.
This homophobia is embedded in our
I
culture.
don't get it though. Why are you so
I
worried about what other people doing with their body parts?
exactly, but
Why
it
are you so concerned?
goes back to earlier, like people do not think for themselves. They
Watch
don't
your life.
conjure up their own thoughts. Like why would I be against if two men want to get married, right? Please, Chrissy, tell me what in the hell that got to do with me?
The only time gay marriage affects you is if you gay. I don't
Exactly.
understand this obsession. Okay, two men want to have sex, two women want to have sex. How is that your business? Why you want to join in? You want a threesome? I don't understand the level
Why is that a
of.
problem? And another thing, you know what I said the other day, right, Chrissy? You know what's
I
so
don't get
funny?
it.
You know what's funny? The
What's that?
roughest and toughest, most gangsterish niggas
Oh,
commenting on what other niggas wearing all the time.
thank you.
More than Joan Rivers when she was living.
Oh,
Why are you so concerned with how tight another man pants
just
is?
be gay.
What that got to do with you?
Or if a man have on a romper, just be gay.
If a
one
man
time.
have on a robe,
But you know, I
what
can tell
that got to do with you?
Plenty Bahamian man have latent homosexual tendencies, but because of the
I'm like, what?
country, we can't let it out.
And I mean, they so passionate,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
The passion they have again. I like, what the? Why are you
Relax,
so
boo.
passionate about another man's attire? What that
I
got to
don't
do with
get
you?
it. And
I
what
don't
two
understand,
women
man.
doing? Why that's your concern? And you know, like a Bahamian man is get mad at woman who decide to be lesbian. Why are you
They get
mad
mad
who
at women?
pick you?
They get
Sit
mad at women
down.
who decide to be lesbian?
Yeah, I've heard some
What?
terrible conversations with people who I know the things they say about them, and I just have to put my mouth in it.
Wow.
Well, you know, in the Bahamas, a whore is someone who fucks everyone. A bitch is someone who fucks everyone but you.
You see, Jasmine says, you ain't know why they mad, Greg?
Yeah, why they mad? Tell
You
me.
say, I can put the comment up right now. Say,
Man, I can't
they
see
be mad
Jazz. I
because
wanna
that
know.
turns them on.
You know, and you'll be
Man,
surprised
listen.
to know these big man who just be look here. I wish back in the day when I used to be going to the gay clubs, I used to take pictures. If I show you half of these people who one way during the day and just be who you is. What Jackson
Yeah.
Burnside say? Be who you is, not who you ain't. Because if you ain't who you is, you ain't. Be who you
Yeah.
is. The
Yeah.
Bahamas does not encourage its citizens to be who they is.
Right, I agree.
But
And stop worrying with other people. And again, keep your church. Listen, I ain't telling you to stop going to church. I ain't telling you don't be a Christian. Be what you want to be, but understand that there's a separation and there's a difference when it comes to making public policy that affects the entire country, everyone in the country that lives there, and your personal beliefs when it comes to religion. Believe
know
what
that.
you want. Keep that out of church. That don't have nothing to do with when we have in public discussions, whether as it relates to laws, whether it be gender equality, whether it be marital rape that they've been discussing. These things, keep your Bible out of those discussions, okay?
You know?
Keep it out.
About the
That's all I'm
marijuana
saying.
debate. I hope they quote Ezekiel 4:9 when they doing the marijuana debate. Christians is gonna quote piece of things.
Peace all the time, always. And then when you present them with some of the voices in the Bible, they never even knew it was there.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's some
Never.
amnesia.
Yeah, never knew it was there. So
Amnesia.
anyway, let's stop doing this nonsense because we'll never progress as a nation. And Gerard was saying you should just move. Which I don't agree with.
Like what Chrissy do? How that get in it though? How that get in it?
This is why context is important, Chrissy.
How that get in it?
Context Yeah, context. A lot of people, we live in an era where context don't matter, unfortunately. But
Truly.
I gotta wrap up
Get
because
your
we
facts
supposed to be
right,
getting
too.
out anyhow. I done late. We supposed to be getting out anyhow.
Okay,
People,
bye.
I appreciate it, Chrissy. Listen,
Give
you
my
know I love
package a
you.
big hug for me.
Yes,
Don't
ma'am. I
say it.
love you. I always appreciate your contribution. It's
Greg, I
always
Chrissy love
fun.
you too.
Always a good time. Thank you for taking part again. We thank you people for tuning in. Thank you for all your comments. I didn't get to read all of them, didn't get to put all of them up, but I appreciate you for making them. Anyhow, we have about 170 comments. Thank you,
And what
people.
you forget to do?
Bye, everybody.
I don't know.
What you forget to do?
What I supposed to do? Please
Go
remind me.
undertherugmedia.com.
Yeah, I
Click
was gonna get to
donate.
that. I was gonna get to the I was gonna get to that. Please go to our website. Go undertherug.com. We have the shows up there. We have the videos that are on YouTube as well. We also have, if you'd like to donate to the cause, if you want me to not be on my couch in my front room doing the show and we could get an actual office with some better equipment, then donate to the
Thanks.
cause. That's all. You know what I mean? Put a little skin in the game because I didn't spend a lot of money on it and I need you all to come on board and help as we change media. We change the landscape. We change the conversations. We try to push this country forward. It's going to take all of us. And the very small things that you can do can help us. If you can't give money, then you could always share the video. Simple as that. That's free. You can share, tag your friends, because if we have a broad reach, then we reach more people. We get more attention. And then maybe we can have some corporate people that want to put the money that you don't have to put. So there are many ways that you can contribute to the movement. If you believe in what we're doing, we ask that you just continue to support, share the video, like the page. We're on SoundCloud. Search for Under the Rug Podcast. Just Google it. You can come up on Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud. Follow us. Follow Chrissy Love live to the world on YouTube. I know y'all ain't seeing her on Facebook. That's because she has moved to YouTube. Or like some people say, the YouTubes. She's on YouTube. Yeah.
You know,
Look
the
for
Bama's like to put an S on everything.
everything is ass. Heats. Everything is ass.
Oh, I love the
Yeah.
Miami Heats.
The Saxons, everything is ass.
Yeah,
So
I love that
go
one.
ahead and look for Chrissy Love on YouTube. You can still follow her. She still goes live every day from in between 2 and 4.
Yeah, today I tried to go live, but the blizzard was kicking my ass.
Yeah, I see you was out on the road. Too cold for you to do
Man, I get
anything.
lost on the metro. How I
Yeah.
end up in Van. Anyway, you know what? I's a Bahamian. The more I stay in America, I dead
Uh-huh.
island-y.
Yeah.
Dead island-y.
Yes. And so Cherry is here saying Happy New Year. I stopped saying Happy New Year, Chrissy. I now say Happy Do Year because it's time
I
to
love
take
that, Greg.
Yes,
Do
it's time
something. Do
to
something.
time to
do
take action.
something. Happy
Every-
New Year.
Happy New Year. Let's get up, let's do something. And let it be a positive something. Don't just get up and do anything. Let's
Yeah.
do something that makes sense and that's gonna progress and move the country forward. So let's go ahead and do things this year. Happy New Year. And take care, people. Thank you for all the support. Thank you once again, Chrissy. Until
You're
next
welcome.
time.
Thank you too.
Peace out, people. Later.
Bye.